welcome back. I'm Neil.
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
And this is the 4-on-1. We're covering everything in the football world. Just a couple guys in the basement. Nothing better to do, boys. How are we feeling this week?
Oh,
God.
something's rumbling in the veins, boys. I'm doing great. With a break coming up, me and Neil will be traveling to Montana.
I'm going to Disney.
Freezing
He's going to Disney.
our ass off.
Yeah, it's gonna be
in
cold.
Montana.
We're gonna be going on a mission trip. Michael will be in
Helping some kids out.
in Disney. Michael, how are you, man?
I'm very good. I've been missing the podcast
too.
for so long.
For reference,
my God.
hold on. For reference, this is Michael on the mug.
So I just want to let you guys know it's been a while, but just to let you boys know, I still got the energy.
He's still
I got the energy. Let's go.
All right, hold on.
Hype, man.
Quick outline
So
for the day.
I finally got my license today.
Wow,
it's
very
been
nice.
It's been a long ride.
Yes, it
Since
has.
Massachusetts driving laws suck.
Too many drives with him.
Terrible. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Michael is gonna do the A and B. We got the season recap. We're just gonna do our thoughts of the season as a whole. Good year, bad year. You know, we're gonna hop into our best games of the year, and then also two teams that were really good that surprised us, and also two teams that were really bad that surprised us, and also the 2-minute warning as always. So Michael, take it away. A and B. You got it.
Right. Well, you can hold it.
Okay.
Okay, so a few days ago, we had a fan of the podcast contact us, and he said to me, I have a rant about Patrick Mahomes. So I said, all right,
Okay.
we'll have it in the podcast.
Just the content we want to hear.
So this is, and I quote from this fan. Here's the take. Patrick Mahomes had one of the worst performances that won a Super Bowl MVP. 2 touchdowns is pretty nice, but 2 touchdowns is not MVP worthy. He looked amazing all year, don't get me wrong. But through the majority of that game, Nick Bosa and the boys from San Francisco made that guy look just average. Credit to Saleh, the defensive coordinator of the 49ers. He called a great first 3 quarters of the game. But in the end, the high-powered offense led by Damian Williams this time, not Patrick Mahomes, turned it on at just the right moment to win. Damian Williams had 104 yards, 74 carries, with a dagger score to end any hope that San Francisco had of coming back. When you talk about the impact of the game, here's where it comes in. I think Damian Williams had a better impact than Patrick Mahomes. Like I said before, Mahomes was an average quarterback for most of the game. Williams was the best player in the field that night, no doubt. The Chiefs would have not been in the Super Bowl without Mahomes. We were talking about this one game. So here's why I ask you. Do you think that Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowl 54 either A, deserved the MVP, or B, did not deserve it?
You think yes?
Very deserving of the MVP.
You think no?
You lead. You
Okay.
lead.
When you think of a Super Bowl MVP, it is the. I'm gonna ask you first. What do you think a Super Bowl? What defines a Super Bowl most valuable player?
This player, the team would not have won the Super Bowl without this player. And because valuable. Valuable. The value of that
literally
player.
the most literal meaning I could possibly give you. Literally the most valuable player in the game.
Yeah, the player that made the biggest difference within the game. And I think that if you take Damian Williams out of the mix, I think the Chiefs still win.
You say it all the time. Running backs come a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I think wide
So
receivers come
exactly.
even more so.
So
than
that
running
actually
backs.
helps my point. So then Mahomes deserved the MVP more than a dime a dozen running backs.
Oh, you're agreeing with me that Mahomes does deserve the MVP.
No. All right. Here's my point. I don't think
A
that
is
Mahomes
does, B is
I know.
doesn't.
Yes.
Mahomes.
Okay, just for
all right.
clarity. Okay.
Mahomes did not deserve the MVP. In any other MVP game, like in any other Super Bowl, I would pick any other Super Bowl MVP over Mahomes for the most part. I mean, you have like that one Super Bowl Brady threw like 150 yards and 1 touchdown, and he got MVP for some reason. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But in most cases, I would take any other Super Bowl MVP over Mahomes. But because no one stuck out in this Super Bowl, I'd pick Mahomes over anybody. I mean, Damian Williams, he had like 60 yards going into the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. He had 60 yards. Yeah. He had like a 140-yard carry to cement the Chiefs' win. Tyreek Hill had over 100 yards, but he also beat his kid. And I don't think the NFL wants to give the MVP to a guy who has that track record.
Right. I agree.
Travis Kelce didn't have that great of a game. They're not going to give it to a defensive player because no defensive player on the stat sheet came up that huge.
This is what I'm going to say.
So, all right, Mahomes didn't deserve it, but he was the most deserving out of any player. That's kind of what I'm
This is what I'm going to say. Mahomes was 26 for 42. Not good. Not good at all. 286 yards.
Meh.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. 2 interceptions.
Not good. Awful.
2 touchdowns. Meh. You talked about how when a person is the MVP, they wouldn't have won the game without them. They were down.
And Mahomes
by
got back in that
10
game.
points.
I know. In the fourth quarter,
In the
7 minutes to
fourth
go.
quarter, that was not Damian Williams. Damian Williams had the touchdown, dude. But there were a lot of 13 yards. Tyreek Hill. I'm looking at they had key plays. He had key plays in key third down situations where it could have been make or break.
Yeah,
So
but
you
if
think
look at
Damian
the
Williams
stats-
should have won the MVP?
No, I don't. I think the absolute opposite. Because he's just a rando running back. He's a
Okay.
jag.
What do you
He's
think?
just another guy.
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, part of me is thinking, yeah, I agree with him. Like, they made him look less than his talent.
But that's what a Super Bowl should be. A sick defense going up
Yeah,
against it.
I agree.
It's just a good defense.
But also, Brady threw for 500 yards last year. 2 years ago.
But it was clearly the high-powered offense versus the high-powered offense.
I know. I agree.
In that
In that
Super Bowl
Super Bowl.
52,
Here's the thing.
it's very
49ers
interesting.
averaged either first or second most points in the NFL. They were no slouch on offense.
Of course not. But there were more talents on defense than offense, and you were the first person to say that because you love. Excuse me, you hate Garoppolo.
I do not like Garoppolo.
I know. But you just called them a high-powered offense.
Yes, but
Their
Garoppolo's
defense is better
not
than
their
their
offense.
offense.
Garoppolo's not their offense.
I agree. So who is? Kittle? I guess
Kittle's the playmaker.
He is the playmaker.
Yeah, I say Mostert down the stretch is really
Coleman.
good. So, hey, great debate.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Thoughts? Good season, bad season.
Start us off.
Go for it. Go for it.
So, what an odd year.
A very odd year.
Very odd year. I'm going to give you kind of the highlights. Who expected these things? The Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl.
Niners, yes. Chiefs, no.
Just the opposite. Chiefs, yes. Niners, no.
Agreed. Chiefs were the second favorites in the AFC to win it.
Niners were 4 and 12 last year.
Who expected the
But-
Ravens to go 14-2?
Not me.
yeah,
Who
no.
expected the Patriots to lose in the wild card?
No one.
Who expected
Tier.
Antonio Brown to be
Tier.
out of the league?
No, I'm
Yeah.
the Patriots and then out of the league.
Rams did not make the playoffs.
I was just about to talk about
They were
that.
the second after the Super Bowl last year. They had the second best odds to repeat or
Weird.
win it, not repeat because
Weird.
Patriots won, but repeat. And then kind of slept on. Chargers to implode. They were 12-4 last year, 5-11 this year.
Ridiculous.
Question, sorry to interrupt. How much of that do you think was due to Melvin Gordon's holdout?
Not at all. A little bit.
I think it has a
I'd
little bit
say
to do with it.
more-
I'm going to
more
get
I
into
think
it.
More
slightly,
numbers.
but I think they're.
I would say more on
Their
Derwin James'
team-
injury, and then Philip Rivers just not playing well.
Yeah.
I also
And
think
then
they're.
the biggest thing, Andrew Luck didn't play.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. I think
It's
the biggest
one of
thing
the
is
biggest
the
things.
Titans.
No.
And also,
No, dude, that was the biggest
I
jaw
think
dropper of
I
the
think the
season.
biggest-
The Titans?
No, not the biggest.
That was
jaw
the
dropper.
biggest jaw dropper of
How
the
about the
entire
Ravens
season.
going 14-2?
No.
That's a
That-
way bigger jaw dropper on the
Andrew-
Dude, if somebody said,
Luck
if somebody,
retiring was-
and I'm going to shut your argument down right now. If somebody says the Ravens are going to go 14-2, I'd be like, wow, that's crazy. And then if somebody were to say the Titans are going to go to are going to be the 6th seed and then make it to the AFC Championship, I would go, you're lying. That's not true. The
Ravens
the
had the
Ravens thing
means to
is
do it.
believable. The Titans thing
No,
before this
sort
was
of.
not.
The Ravens
yeah,
thing is
sort
sort of.
Dude, the
believable.
Ravens thing
All
was
right. Well,
believable.
anyway,
It was
I
believable.
got too much on this. So, anyway, the Rams. Oh, sorry, they didn't have the second best. They had the 4th best odds to go back to the Super Bowl and win. The Colts had the 5th best odds going into the year. Going into this season, the Colts had the 5th best odds.
That's crazy.
It's just it's just crazy.
I like the Colts.
Yeah, I do
I like
too.
the Colts.
Yeah, I've always not.
Hated the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy how seasons can play out and who ultimately wins it all, you know? I mean, just think about it. We might have just watched Tom Brady throw his last pass in a Patriots uniform. Don't say anything about it. But we'll talk more about that in the next podcast. Say what you want if the dynasty is
like
over
that.
or not. Say what you want. If Brady is back or not. But let's just come to the harsh reality for some people. The Chiefs and the Ravens are going to be the new faces of the AFC, if not the league.
Mhm.
This season went kind of like a shifting of
It was
the
a
power.
turning season.
It was a turning point. It's sad, but it's true. The Patriots are no longer the team to be. And I haven't said it yet, but congratulations to the Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see many more in their future, though.
I don't either.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so I have a question for both of you. Did you see throughout the season? You're like, yeah, they'll go pretty far.
Yeah,
I did.
Because at the very last second they won the 2 spot and got a bye.
yeah, they had the 3 seed basically 3 or 4 the entire season. Basically,
we were pretty much
not the
a
entire
lock for
season,
the
but
2.
Yeah.
Dear.
Yeah. So anyway, I know I'm contradicting myself again by saying like the Chiefs, obviously, are the team to beat, but now they're not going to win the Super Bowls. But the Ravens are the new team to beat.
I agree.
Let's be
Agreed.
real.
It didn't matter they lost the division.
I think it just speaks to how bad the AFC is without the Patriots. I mean, think about it. Either this season or next offseason, Patrick Mahomes is going to want north of $40 million.
He's going to want money.
That's a lot of money. And if history repeats, as basically the slogan of this podcast is "If history repeats,"
Yeah.
they won't be able to keep everyone on their team. I mean, what are they going to do when Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Tyrann Mathieu, and other
Are
guys
calling for
all
money.
want
all
to
want
get
more money.
paid?
And they're all going to want to because they all deserve to.
Exactly. That's why I think the Ravens are better set up for the
So they
future
got to pick and choose.
because they have young, cheap guys that can play well.
I agree
Not
that they're young.
cheap. I think as they progress and as Jackson gets better, he's gonna be more. The people around him be like, you need more money. You deserve more money. They will pay you more money.
Right. Only thing is,
But I would say that
They're all
Jackson's
young.
not there yet.
dude, the what's it called is the Ravens are a very young team.
Mhm.
Clearly, and I think it's what screwed them ultimately, is that they're a very young
Yeah,
team.
no experience.
was it was it that or was it the 3-week bye?
That's what I'm
was
saying.
bad?
People, and I've said this before, Tom Brady would want a 3-week bye because but people who have never been to the playoffs
They don't know what to do with
and
themselves.
aren't weathered
They don't know what to do
and
with
they go 3 weeks without playing. That I'm saying both those things.
Not even
because
they're
they're young.
like playing football at all. Because obviously like scrimmage they practice.
No, but it's
obviously.
different.
In games.
Game
Yeah,
time
yeah,
is so
it's
much
different.
different from practice.
So much
You
different.
kidding me?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I think they definitely played into it. I agree.
Yeah, so to sum it up, I think the season was not the end for the Pats. I don't think the Pats will be a lottery team for another 10 years. But I think we are
Slow
seeing,
down. Another 10 years?
if Bill Belichick is still the coach.
We have no idea.
Hold on. Wait,
We have no
so I wanna say
idea what the
something.
future holds,
How-
dude. We have no idea what the future holds. We need to figure out what's going on with Tom first before you can say anything about
Bill
that.
Belichick is
Yeah, he's not
67.
gonna
So
be-
in 10 years,
No,
this
alright,
guy
not
will be
10.
pushing
I was- alright.
80 years old.
Okay.
If he's still the coach, oh my god.
Another 5.
Oh my
Maybe
god.
6.
5 or 6 years of what?
Still being not contenders.
When does
but
Bill
not in the
retire?
lottery.
He'd be like 90. He'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
best game of the year.
Well, I'd like to hop into my year.
Yeah.
My year
go
analysis.
for it. Go for it.
So, I think this season was a cute 7 out of 10. I think this was a 7 out of 10 season. It had all the things you need. You know what I mean? You pretty much hit all the bases. All the things you need. A dominant team with the Ravens, with the MVP. Everybody loves seeing that. It's just the thing as last year. Patrick Mahomes, it's the team to
You
beat.
know why people love seeing it more? Because the Patriots weren't the media.
And that-
Yeah, that's
Right.
a fact.
Absolute super team. New stars rising. I think it's so important. You see the downfall of superstar players in the past. You see the downfall of Tom Brady. Not Drew Brees, but a little decline, I
His
think.
playoff.
You know what I mean? His playoff.
Yeah, that's-
You see the decline of Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers,
Yeah.
Aaron
Rivers just
Rodgers.
mutually
guys like that
departed from
on the rise,
Chargers.
and you see guys on the rise. It sounds weird to say because we haven't said his name in a while. Gardner Minshew, remember that guy?
He's not.
Gardner
he got
Minshew.
benched at the end of
I
the
know,
year.
I
He's not on the ride.
But young guys, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson,
Kyler Murray, Daniel
Allen.
Daniel Jones.
Allen.
Hey, he said it. Let's go.
Allen. You gotta think about
Josh
these guys.
Allen.
Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen, yeah.
No.
What?
Not the what's it called.
Kyle
Not
Allen.
yeah. So just a lot of and I think this is gonna be a year that goes down in the books as like the turning point.
I think
This
so,
is
too.
this is the new generation of players that our kids are gonna be watching and saying, oh, when's this guy gonna retire?
Also, one other thing.
Weird.
You know what I mean?
Wait,
If
one
Lamar
thing-
Jackson doesn't break his leg,
Yeah,
beforehand.
seriously.
Only 2 quarterbacks ever have went to the Super Bowl, lost, and then went back and won. Only 2 ever.
Tom.
I don't know the 2,
Tom.
but no, Tom was not.
Mahomes.
Tom's won his
Oh no,
first.
Mahomes was in the
No,
Super Bowl.
no.
I'm stupid.
It
Tom
was-
went to the Super Bowl in 52, lost, went back and won in 53.
No, like his first Super Bowl.
Ever.
His first Super Bowl ever. Lost,
see.
went back, and then won.
Ah.
I don't remember who did it, but
Yeah.
there have only been 2. So my point is, Garoppolo lost his first.
Oh whoa.
So, I mean, just
Now
think about it.
3.
Someone's
Shut
gotta
up,
lose.
Neil. God.
You know what I mean? New stars rising. Underdog going the distance. Everybody loves seeing that, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, if you weren't a Titans fan and you weren't a Chiefs fan, who are you rooting for in that AFC Championship game?
Titans.
The Titans. Everybody loves seeing that. The only thing I would have liked to see is the Titans going farther. Because I would have loved to see them win the Super Bowl. That
I
would've been-
mean, that they went pretty damn far.
oh, it's impressive.
That's-
That's why I'm talking about it. All around, I think just a super exciting season. Rising stars, falling veterans. I'm sad about that. but it's true. You know what I mean?
It was gonna happen at some point.
I
think we
agree.
just gotta,
A lot of
you know.
holdouts, a lot of shitty NFL players who are divas and want to make problems.
A lot of. How about every
Yeah.
NFL player?
I want to ask you guys about something. What do you guys think about the Pro Bowl?
Don't care.
Don't care. Still don't care. Dude, it's just it's so bad.
I don't care about the Pro Bowl. It's awful, and you know what? It's become even worse in
It's become a joke.
seasons.
I mean, like you see those guys, they're like,
But here's the
live,
thing,
they're like,
who? So the two best teams face off in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
On those two best teams, there are a lot of Pro Bowl guys, right?
Yeah.
So then when they're
Then they don't go. So
they don't
why
go
would
because
they
they're preparing for the Super Bowl. Why are they going to go to the Pro Bowl? So then you're losing like. I mean, not Lamar because he actually went, but you're losing like the Patrick Mahomes that got selected for the Pro Bowl, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, George Kittle.
what about
all
the
these
best
guys?
players,
Hold on.
best tight ends in the league?
What about
Yeah, and
what
they're
about
not there? Like Mark Andrews led for like, and he's a great tight end. Don't get me wrong, but he like led in receiving for the AFC. So like, I mean, who cares?
Right.
You know, it's the Pro Bowl. I didn't watch it.
Guys are just screwing around out there.
Yeah,
Stupid.
exactly.
What were you saying, Neil? Sorry.
So, game of the year. I kind of want to start this one because I have a weird one for kind of a weird reason. So I have Week 15, Rams Cowboys, and here's why. So I'll outline for you. So Cowboys won at home, 44-21. They had snapped their previous 3-game losing streak. Their offense had really struggled in the past, losing to the Patriots and Bills.
I'm hesitant already, but I'm gonna hear you.
Okay.
Now.
As much as I don't like Dallas, it was good to see them bounce back. Yeah, I wasn't really too concerned. We know when we were still anticipating the Patriots, like going far in the playoffs. I didn't see that team as a playoff threat to us. Their offense had 475 total yards, didn't allow turnover, and were only forced to punt on 2 occasions that game. Other side of the field, the Rams offense played kind of poorly. Gurley was only held to 11 carries for 20 yards. Goff did end up throwing for 284 yards. It's not terrible, but he had 51 throws to get there. That's really, really bad. And this uptick in throws, obviously, it relates to Goff feeling like his running game had failed him that day. What's up?
Game of the year.
Yeah.
Let me finish. Out of all
Look,
of the
it's
games,
a good
Out
game.
of all the
Really
games,
didn't play
out of all
well.
the games that I watched beginning to end, I not saw the highlights, not saw like an insane catch. Of all the games I watched beginning to end.
Hey, you didn't watch too many games.
you watched
like
too
that.
many
Leave me
games.
alone.
That's
Hold
just
on.
your best
Let him finish.
game.
Let him finish.
Sort of a weird random point. Also, the weird game where there was the coin toss
Yeah.
controversy where but people were confused whether he said defer or kickoff, and it was found because they had to review it at halftime. The press guy said defer, but if he had to kick off, the Cowboys would have been forced to kick the ball off both times. And I think the moment the Rams realized they had definitely lost officially when they really got screwed, going to the fourth quarter having scored 0 points in the third,
So what was the
being
final
down
score?
31-7, 44-21.
That's your game of the year.
Let me finish.
But it was like a 24-point difference.
Let me
23-point
finish.
difference.
I like this game so much because I just love seeing teams in general bounce back from shit. I love
Yeah, but so that's one team. It's a game, dude.
Dude, it's also
I know
a
that.
team that didn't go far at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't
All right,
matter.
All right, all right.
It's the game of the.
My best game of the year. 49ers,
It could have been the
Saints.
2 worst teams playing.
No, yeah, all right, I agree on that.
Well,
but
no, hold on. The game can't be game of the year if they're the 2 worst teams playing. I think there's got to be
Agreed.
some
It feels
kind
like
of
right, 49ers, Saints. 49ers won 48-46.
Okay.
a great game.
Like, with a 2-minute drive led by Jimmy G, which led to a game-winning field goal. And here's the stat to watch. At one point, the 49ers had a 98.7% chance of winning.
Absurd.
Okay, 98.7. That you don't lose, right?
Mhm.
With 2 minutes and 23 seconds left.
It's been done.
Not
It's been
even-
It's been done before.
99.4.
Patriots
was the
Falcons third quarter.
Not even 2 minutes. Less than
0.6.
2 minutes later, the Saints had an 83.7% chance of winning. So wait, Niners had a 98, Chiefs had an 83.
That's absurd.
That is a 182.4% swing in chance of winning. Both teams came back down by 10 points at different times. It was just an extremely intense game. It was engaging. It glued your eyes to the TV the entire time. That's my best game of the year.
Interesting.
Don't know how
Go
you
for
can
it.
have that.
So
Go for it.
respectable. Mine is the divisional. Texans at Chiefs. For me.
Oh yeah, 24-point comeback. Yeah, that's sick.
For me, I think you gotta have a couple of things for something to be the game of the year. I think we need to have 2 high-powered teams. Because if it's Bengals,
Redskins.
immediately people aren't going to watch it.
Who was the second worst?
I think the game needs to be.
Redskins? Who was second worst?
I
Giants?
think
No.
I think the
That's
game
like
needs
fourth
to be
worst.
highly anticipated beforehand for it to be best game of
It's
the
like
year.
the hype's got to be big.
The hype's got to be
surrounding it.
at least kind of big before.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? A. And B, I think there needs to be...
Redskins or 2.
B, I think there need to be superstar players.
3 and 13.
There need to be superstar players. And C, there needs to be comebacks and lead changes and things like that. Right? 21-0 first quarter. They come back.
My dad literally called me like, it's over.
23-0, really. That was the biggest
It's
deficit.
24-0.
23.
It's 24-0.
24.
21 plus 3 is 4.
Wow.
24.
Wow. I am really tired. 24-0, and then
I really suck at math, and I still got that.
And then they scored 28 unanswered points, 13 in the third. They Houston Texans, no points.
It was
in
awesome.
The fourth. It was an amazing thing. I want to talk about like the scoring. That doesn't happen, dude. That was absurd.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What Patrick Mahomes was able to do, and it's crazy because in the first quarter, boom, Patrick Mahomes perfect pass, drop. Like perfect passes to really to Kelsey.
Yeah.
Kelsey and Hill were the biggest culprits.
No,
Mahomes was playing-
Robinson was the biggest
Robinson,
culprit. He had
too.
like 3 drops on it.
Yeah.
Or 2
Boom,
drops.
perfect passes and key third down plays
Kelsey
in the
did
first
too.
quarter.
Kelsey had the 3rd down drop.
Dropped. I want to mention some things. When I think about this game, there are a couple of things that I want to highlight. 94 rushing yards for the Houston Texans, 118 for the Kansas City Chiefs. So Damian Williams had a very good game. The sacks were very prominent. The Houston Texans had 5 sacks for 40 yards.
Yeah.
Meaning that they were getting pressure on this
That's
Kansas
8 yards a loss.
on this Kansas City offense, meaning that when Mahomes was doing all this stuff, he was getting pressured hard, dude. They were throwing everything they had at him, pressuring him hard, and he had to just get rid of it, and he had to use his feet and see what happens.
Yeah.
Total yards, 442 for the Texans to 434 to the Chiefs, which is really interesting. So the Texans have more, but I think it really it speaks to how good of a game it really was, because you look at those numbers and it says like, and it goes to time of possession too. 34 minutes for the Texans, 25 for the Chiefs.
Neil, don't say it. Stop, Neil.
So time does matter.
Please stop. Meaning that every time that Mahomes had to have the ball, he needed to be quick, he needed to do something with the ball, and it keeps the game high paced and moving. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's what really it comes down to when you want to have a fantastic game.
Absolutely.
You got 2 gunslingers head to head, 2 mobile guys, super important. It was a high paced game. Percentage dropped majorly, of course. Hurt Mahomes.
Duh.
Mahomes in this Super Bowl team, and I think that makes it even greater that they ended up going to win the Super Bowl. I think that makes this even higher on my list of best games this year. Action, high energy, high scoring. That's my best this year.
Interesting. I really want to hop into surprise teams.
Okay.
First one, Bills.
They surprised you?
Yes.
They kind of surprised me too.
Yeah. Here's why. So they finished at 10-6. I think I speak for everyone when I say, wow. And I think this team actually gave Patriots fans some doubt
Yeah.
that we wouldn't win the division.
No.
With
Not win the
no,
division.
there was a time when I was like, wait a second.
No.
No.
Wait, what?
Dude, no. The Patriots always had the division. The division was never in doubt. It was the 2 seed ever in doubt because they had to face the Bills at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That
and then
was
it turns
the
out we lost to the Dolphins. So that's fine. I'm fine. Not only could their offense be reliable for the majority of the games they played, their defense was solid. Even when they
Their
played,
offense was not reliable, dude. They had a very lackluster offense.
they went 10-6.
Yeah, because
You could have a very lackluster offense and go 10-6.
The
with a
Patriots
sick
went.
defense.
The Patriots went 12-4 because of their defense. Their
Let's talk
offense
about
was non-existent.
let's talk about lackluster offenses. Super Bowl 50, the Denver Broncos, old man Manning in the backfield.
Peyton
Talk
Manning.
about a lackluster offense and a sick defense
Peyton
that
Manning.
carried them to a Super Bowl.
Manning had the worst QBR recorded of any quarterback that started.
Ever.
Not ever. No, for that season. He did.
I'm saying it
And he
like,
still won the Super Bowl that
in
year.
a Super Bowl. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah.
Um,
No,
Ridiculous.
in the season, he had the worst QBR.
Really?
In the
I didn't
season.
know that.
Not even the Super Bowl.
Oh my
I don't
God.
think he did the
weird.
Super Bowl. In the season, he had the worst QBR of any quarterback.
You know an offense is bad when the MVP goes to a defensive player. That's how you know.
that's a fact.
That's how you know.
That's a fact.
Amen.
I also felt this year they didn't have to prove anything to anybody.
Who?
No,
The
they
Bills.
Didn't. They didn't.
And being in a position where you're able to underpromise and overdeliver, especially in NFL, a really great place to
Well,
be.
I think it sets a precedent, and you think about it all the time. When you have a team that's just meh, do they have nothing to prove or everything to prove?
Nothing to prove.
Nothing
Because they
to
don't have
prove.
any expectations.
And more prominently, they weren't hyped up in the media at all.
That's true.
Bills Mafia, though.
Oh, dude.
Like,
Yeah, but that only
Mafia.
took away like midway through the season. We're like,
yeah, well,
oh
I
shit!
agree.
Then they had like a
because
fan base.
because at the
of
best they were gonna be.
No,
like,
hold on. They've always had a fan base.
Oh,
Don't
they've
get me
always had a
going with
fan base, but it really
Niners.
It,
Talk about the Niners with fan bases.
it came to a
Most fair-weather fans of all time.
It came to a head. I think midway through the season where people were like, all right, this team's legit.
You see that picture on Instagram where it's like
yes,
2017,
don't look at us
18,
now.
19?
Don't support us
But
then if you don't want to support us
the,
now.
The fans
Yeah.
at the games,
Yeah,
nothing,
awful.
nothing.
Awful.
Yeah,
Full.
crazy.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Second team Packers. So I think a lot of people underestimated Rodgers and more specifically the lack of weapons that he had this season. He finished
He had a lot of
season-
weapons this season.
No, he didn't.
He had a good.
Who?
Aaron
Outs-
Jones, Devontae Adams.
Devontae
Well,
Adams.
That's
Aaron
enough.
Jones. It's not enough.
How is that?
Who
Aaron
to
Jones,
throw
Devontae
to?
Adams.
To throw to.
Fair.
Okay.
It's a fair statement.
He finished the season with a 62% completion rate, 4,002 yards. That's got to be kind of satisfying. Like, you just get like 2 yards over. Like, yes.
Aaron Rodgers
26
did not have a good season.
He never had a fantastic
26.
season, no.
But it was all right.
It was fine.
For Aaron Rodgers?
For Aaron, yeah, it wasn't Aaron
For-
Rodgers.
for-
I think people expected
a
a
top
lot.
10 QB ever?
People expected a lot less out of him
Do
with
you-
the weapons that he had.
Do you think he is?
Widely regarded as one, yeah.
Do you think he is?
No. I don't even think he's like top 20.
Interesting.
I
Slow
just don't-
down.
I don't-
I don't think he's not my
I'm
top
also
10,
biased.
but he's
I
in my
don't
top 20.
like Aaron
Maybe
Rodgers.
top like 17, top 16.
Come on. Let's not get
I just
too
don't. I don't
All
like
right.
him.
So obviously Devontae Adams is Rodgers' biggest weapon. Just under 1,000 yards. This
Yeah,
season.
he didn't even. He didn't
He
even
had
eclipse.
997.
He didn't. Yeah, I know. 997.
Yeah.
He didn't even eclipse 1,000 yards. I mean, their offense was not that great this year. Statistically, they were.
Hold on. Second place for most receiving yards this season for the Packers. Anyone guess?
Valdez Scantling.
Nope.
Oh, I know who it is. It was Alan Lazard.
Yep.
Or Lazard.
Guess how many?
I don't know. 600, 400.
477.
Alright.
I think the dynamic duo of Rodgers and Adams, as well as the incredible season by Jones, 1,044 yards, 16 touchdowns just on the ground, as well as just under 500 receiving yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. I don't think his rank of 13th overall running back this season does him justice. That's all I got. What do you guys think? Just Jones. Do you think, my question for you is, do you think the rank of 13th overall this season does him justice? Thoughts?
No, because
Thoughts?
I think that he's probably a top 5 running back in the NFL.
Okay.
I don't see him
I would agree.
because potential wise, yeah, I think he's top 5. But
Coming
I don't
into
know.
this season, I
Then
think
again,
he's got
LaFleur-
top 5, at
LaFleur-
least top 10. potential.
Matt LaFleur, their coach, used him a lot more than McCarthy ever did.
Yep.
But I still don't think he's being used enough. I think it's because of Aaron Rodgers. I think
Okay.
Rodgers is like, I need stats, I need to throw the ball. I just think Aaron Jones is a
he
lot
can.
better.
Rodgers just can throw the ball.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I think Jones, he can be a potential workhorse. He can get
Agreed.
like 20
Totally.
carries a game.
I had him fantasy 2 years in a row before I traded him this year, alas. For Melvin Gordon. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Go for it. 2 teams.
All right, so don't say anything until
Okay.
I finish.
Okay.
I don't want an expression. I don't want a word. I don't want anything.
Okay.
My first surprise team is the Ravens. I know. Shut up. Stop. Don't talk.
Okay.
Stop.
I
Shut
didn't
up.
say anything.
God, I know this is obvious. The team started out last year 4-5.
Okay.
And then after the bye week, decided to hand the keys to the not ready for the NFL project quarterback named Lamar Jackson, who led the team to the playoffs after winning 6 out of 7 games to close out the year. Now you may be asking yourself, Michael, with all that being said, how is a surprise? Well, I will tell you.
well, I will share.
I will tell you. No one could have expected them to do this good. After starting the season 2-2, that's a very underrated thing. They
Yeah.
went 500 through 4 games. They finished 14-2. That's right. That's 12 straight wins. And I'm gonna rattle off all the teams they beat. Pats, Steelers, Seahawks, Texans, Rams, 49ers, Bills, and Steelers again.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy
No.
schedule by any
Well,
means.
They did statistically have the easiest schedule in the NFL.
Was
By
it
strength-
easily scheduled? Yeah,
No, by strength of schedule, they had
Yeah.
the easiest one.
For 9... Okay, beginning of the season or updated through every game?
Through 17 games, they had the easiest schedule in the NFL.
Seriously?
By strength of schedule. By the other
I'm shocked
teams'
the
win
Pats didn't.
percentages,
Who are you...
Patriots had the hardest schedule.
This-
statistically.
Seriously?
Patriots had the hardest schedule.
Wow.
I mean, look at the stretch
Words
they
I'm
had.
good. Wow.
At one point, they had the Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Bills, Eagles, Cowboys, I mean,
I suppose.
Bills were 10-6.
Mhm.
Dolphins turned around at the end of the year. They won like 6 out of 7 or something. 5 out of 6 to end
Yeah,
the season.
they went 5-11.
Excuse me. And then there was the Jets.
Mhm.
But, so this team set records. More specifically, Lamar Jackson. I mean, the offense was second in total yards per game, first in rushing yards per game, first in points per game. You cannot tell me that you expected this team to do this well. That's all I have to say.
I didn't. You're right.
I'm going to defer to Pat for his surprise team.
Mine is the Titans.
Duh.
And it's
Kind of
yeah,
expected.
but it's
I
dumb.
expected you to say that.
It's Titans, dude. You gotta think, dude. Derrick Henry, man.
I guess
I did not expect
Nobody
all
saw
that guy
Derrick
to
Henry
come alive.
come
this
back.
season.
When I
And
saw
I'm
this,
so
though,
happy that he did. Even though he beat the Patriots, I'm so happy that he did because I've been waiting for this guy to come alive and actually.
Neil called it. He called it. He called it. He saw
I
it
didn't
coming.
call anything.
I just all right. Here,
I've just been waiting
So-
since he made it to the NFL, and I honestly, I kind of wrote him off. I was like, this guy's not gonna really do anything.
He's
And
so
showed up this
wise.
year.
He's such a genius. He knows all.
But here's the thing: when I kind of thought about like surprise teams, I thought about regular season. I didn't really think about the postseason, which is kind of why I had the Ravens. I mean, I could have very well had the Ravens in disappointing teams because they were 14-2 set records. Were basically penciled in as a Super Bowl champion, lost in the divisional. I mean, when I thought about this, I thought more about the season. So Pat, please go on.
Derrick Henry. 1,540 yards in the regular season. That's
Let the
crazy.
NFL.
Led the NFL. 1,540 yards, and that's not counting that's not even postseason where he really came alive. 8 games over 100 yards, one of which being 200 yards. Best running back in the league, yes or no?
Best running back?
Best running back in the league, yes or no?
Based on talent, based on stats,
Based
on
on talent.
power, based on potential.
What? Best running back in the league, period. It's a pretty easy
It's not a
question.
trick question.
Yeah.
Kind of a trick question.
No, I don't think so. I still
McCaffrey's
think.
better.
Yeah, I don't know how you would
Me
say
too.
Derrick. Because here's the thing.
Me too.
Can Derrick Henry catch the ball?
No,
No.
you're right.
And McCaffrey
Mhm.
was a 1,000-yard receiver. He had 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards.
Yeah.
You can't beat that dude. McCaffrey is not even fantasy.
But those are also
Screw
two teams.
fantasy.
But those are also two teams where both those guys carry.
Yeah. Screw fantasy. I came in last, but screw fantasy.
No, but no.
Both those-
Take fantasy.
I
stats
got
out
an
of
email
it.
the other day that said I placed 8th just for that like confirmation. Like awesome. Yeah. Nice.
No, McCaffrey's still the better running back. I don't care if they're the focal point of that
I
team
would have
or
to.
not.
I agree with
I still think
myself.
McCaffrey's better.
And you know what? I wrote this guy off. Ryan Tannehill had quite.
Yeah.
Came back.
He
He.
just earned himself a mighty big paycheck.
Absolutely.
But question, I think I know the answer. Will his lack of playing well, I guess, in the playoffs affect his season or his contract next year with whoever he plays with?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I need a yes or no.
Yes.
I'm a maybe. I need a yes or no.
I'm still at maybe because I don't know.
One thing I do want to highlight though. Miami. He was on Miami, right? Obviously. 2016 season, 2,995 yards.
that was in what, half a year?
2018.
Well, how many games did you play for that 2,200 yards?
15.
Really?
2018,
Oh, no.
2018 season, 1,979 yards. He played half. 2,742 yards in the 2019 season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this guy's clearly he's made a name for himself,
Yeah.
and he can't. Nobody to write off now. You know what I mean? I wouldn't consider him elite. And me and Michael and Neil have had these conversations like, is he elite? Is he not? Has he proven himself to be elite? He's played like he's elite.
When you can run it off to a 250-pound refrigerator
Yeah.
as your security
and that's
blanket,
all he really did in the playoffs.
That's all he did in the playoffs, and that's why they went to the AFC Championship.
I agree. Mike Vrabel honing his craft. The dude is just
Honing his craft.
honing his craft.
Honing his
Breaking
craft.
down-
Ladies
breaking down-
and gentlemen.
honing his craft. Breaking down the offensive schemes. Dude, the dude is talented.
New Instagram.
This
bio.
is
honing my craft.
honing my craft, dude. This run was special.
Tinder
And-
profile. I like long walks on the beach and
and
also honing my craft.
So I think you're going to see a serious incline in what the Titans are going to be doing. I think you're going to watch this team skyrocket as long as they can keep Henry where he is.
They won't. He's gonna be on their team next year.
Okay.
Anyway, so hold on, I got my second surprise team.
All right.
I also
It's
have my
quick.
surprise
It's
team.
quick.
All right.
Mine as well.
So I've got the Steelers.
I also have the Steelers.
Really?
Tag team.
Wow. Okay, so hold on. Really?
You started off.
Okay, I was just gonna say this may be surprising because
Nope.
they went 8-8, but
I
hear me
me
out.
too.
Just think about all the obstacles they had to overcome.
I'm saying this.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Okay. Ben Roethlisberger got injured week 1. Antonio Brown equals nutcase.
Yep.
Le'Veon Bell went to the Jets in free agency, sat last year out, so they had to deal with that whole debacle. So right there, you just lost your top 3 guys in core pieces. Big Ben, AB, Le'Veon Bell.
Gone.
Then James Conner gets injured early in the year, so you just lost your all-pro running back. Juju got injured after week 8. You just lost your number 1 receiver.
Yep.
So you were playing with a backup running back, or a random running back committee, and you're playing without your top 2 receivers. Obviously, Antonio Brown, I'm counting him too, just for, being dramatic. But you lost your top 2. So your top 2 receivers, you know who they were? No, you don't, exactly. James
Juju.
Washington. No, he got injured. James Washington and Deontay Johnson.
Who?
Okay, those are your top 2, exactly. Just let that sink in. And us Pats fans think, our wide receiver core is so bad. Look at the Steelers. If you want to feel bad about yourself. So then your backup quarterback gets injured. Not Roethlisberger, your backup. What's his name? Mason Rudolph. And you have to resort to your 3rd string quarterback, whose nickname is Duck. And then your O-line gets banged up. So with all of that, you still go 8-8. Which is just miraculous to me.
It's remarkable.
And it's just an amazing all-around coaching job by Mike Tomlin.
Michael pretty much covered all the bases here. I know they didn't win. They didn't make it to the playoffs. The team rallied.
Yeah.
The team rallied. Mike Tomlin should not be fired.
They were playing for a playoff spot in week 17.
It really frustrates me.
Double his salary.
Dude, honestly, Mike Tomlin should be worshipped. He's literally like, everyone's like, fire Mike Tomlin.
The guy's an asshole, but
The dude should be, he saved the team.
Yeah.
This team should have gone 4-12. From all the things the pieces that they
If
lost. It's so impressive that the cards they were dealt. TJ Watt and that defense, I think, was a very important part of it as well. But that offense rallied.
Yeah.
Through going 0-3 in the beginning of the season, taking a 33-3 loss in the beginning of the season to us, the Pats. I'm with you. It's remarkable. I really can't even believe it.
Teams that disappointed me. Number 1, Giants. The first ever pod, I had a Daniel Jones rant, and I have one sentence to sum up this. He will be back next year. Period. My second team is
no, just leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm leaving it at that. He will be back.
We will let Neil sound stupid by
February
himself.
13th.
And when Daniel Jones becomes the most like mediocre quarterback in the league, we're gonna be like,
I'll link in the podcast Instagram this podcast. I'll link the
You
exact
can reference
time.
it back.
Like
Yeah.
3
When
years
I'm
from
right.
now, just so you can see Neil.
being an absolute idiot.
Number 2 team, I think I speak for all of us when I say Browns. I think a lot of football fans across the country were generally shocked about how poorly this team played all
Dude,
season long.
I remember watching things like, I remember us doing like mock drafts and just like, I like to study up in August just to like really make sure I got all my like numbers, stats, my facts down. I was watching some things like, it was just this little like, it was kind of a podcast. It was kind of like
the Browns a Super Bowl.
It was kind of like a show, and guys had them winning the division. Like they were like this team is going to the playoffs.
So they ended up finishing 6-10 in the year,
Awful.
and it's not the Bengals, but nothing to write home about.
Dude,
They finished
the pieces that they had on that
crazy.
team.
So they finished 22nd in the league in points per game, total yards per game, and passing yards per game. I think the worst part for me was Odell talked the biggest game this past offseason about not only how well he personally was going to perform, but also how his team as a whole was going to perform.
Ridiculous.
And I mean, yeah, that's good to an extent. It's good to be confident in your team, you know.
Dude,
But to blab to everyone who
my
listen on social media and raising everyone's expectations of you makes it that much worse when you fall short.
Right, you gotta think about those weapons, dude. Miles Garrett.
No.
I'm just saying, like
Oh, that was awesome.
a great
I really
player.
liked that.
What's it called?
Assault.
He had an
6
awful
games. It's no big deal.
He had an awful season, but going to like the preseason, Baker Mayfield, absolute stud. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Not absolute stud.
Dude,
This
he was
honestly-
projected to do very well this season.
No, he had
Yes.
a high ceiling.
This is honestly
He did have a high ceiling. I agree.
He was an absolute stud, dude. Come on. He had a very mediocre rookie year, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, look at Baker Mayfield." He was in one pick.
You know who else had a very mediocre?
Daniel Jones.
No.
Sorry, below average.
Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson had a good rookie year. It was definitely,
He went 6-1 as a rookie, dude.
but it wasn't like crazy, dude.
He went 6-1, rallied around his team, and led them to the playoffs.
And then lost.
So we're talking about the season, not the playoffs.
Wait, is Lamar Jackson 0-2 in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh my
We
god.
talked about this last podcast.
I didn't think about it like
In
that.
his first one, he
Whoa.
went 3-9.
That's crazy.
Completion.
But like all these tools, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, OBJ, like all these
They
guys
have a
that
lot of
should
guys.
be such a powerhouse team.
Yeah, that's what
Left for shit.
O-line to
Did
back
you
coach.
know that this season was the first time the Browns played in a Sunday night game in like 15 years? I don't know that number for exact, but it was the first time the Browns had played in a Sunday night game for like a while. So fun.
This is honestly a perfect example. I hate to go back to this of why the Bills impressed so many people this season. And I don't know about you guys. I didn't hear
The Bills didn't impress me.
Hold on. Time out.
Impressed.
They're not impressed.
Hold on,
They
let
went
me-
two games.
let me
No,
finish.
they went 2 games over 500. That's not impressive, dude. Did they exceed expectations? Yeah, but they didn't impress me. They had a solid O-line, a solid defense. That automatically gets you like 6 wins. Then you add on like an okay O-line and an okay like weapons. You get 4 more wins. You're 10-6. Good home record. They didn't impress me at all.
Interesting take. I think personally, obviously, the Browns way overhyped going into the season, and even I thought this team like might be good this year. I think I speak for all of us when I say I'm just really disappointed in how poorly this team performed as a whole, and I'll kind of be interested to see if all they can bounce back for next season. That's all I got.
I'll
You
take
got
it
it.
away.
Go for
LA Rams,
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Super Bowl team, made it to the Super Bowl, and it doesn't make it to the playoff. This team was so strong under Sean McVay and Todd Gurley. Like, think about that team last year. It's so remarkable. Todd Gurley took a major dip this year and did not perform to his ability, clearly. I know injuries, his knee, but he didn't perform to his ability even when he was on the field. And, of course, and Aaron Donald, take that guy. He can't carry his team the entire way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He,
agreed.
he can't carry that entire team. I expected a lot more out of Jared Goff. And I know I'm not a big Jared Goff lover. I've never liked him. I was disappointed. I was just genuinely disappointed. Even
You
the
thought this
bar,
was the year he was gonna like. kinda
even the
break
bar
through.
that I set so low for him, he went even lower. I didn't think he was spectacular from the beginning. I know that, but the bar was set so low and he went lower. It's just been embarrassing throughout the 2019 season. They went 9-7. 9-7.
Yeah.
After going to the Super Bowl, that's my disappointment.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it.
All right, so my number 1 team is the Chargers. This
Yeah.
team went 12-4
Me
last
too.
year.
Crazy.
All right, well, tag team.
Let's tag it.
So I also want to throw in the Chicago Bears. Just no analysis. Chicago Bears really
That is
very
disappointing.
disappointing season. Given their defense, giving you hope Trubisky was going to do better. But anyway,
Yeah,
Chargers.
hope being the operative word.
This team went 12-4 last year. It was undefeated on the road. A lot of people had them upsetting the Patriots.
That's right. I remember.
Yeah, people had them upsetting the
Watch that at
Patriots
your house. I remember it.
in the divisional.
Because we were undefeated at home and they were undefeated on the road. I remember that. Yep.
So this year they went 5-11, with half of their losses coming on the road. And no, they did not lose any big pieces. They actually had some of their younger pieces age a year and get better. They just honestly didn't play well, and I don't know how much else to back it up with. I mean, they had the 6th best odds to win the Super Bowl going into the year. They finished with the 6th worst record in the NFL.
Yeah.
They had the 6th most passing yards. They gave up the 6th least total yards per game. It's a lot of 6s. But they couldn't win in close games, and boy, did they have a lot of them.
Yeah.
11 out of their 16 games were decided by 7 points or less.
And that's a problem when it comes to the clutch. And I think it has to do with Phillip Rivers and how he's getting
And
old.
of those 11 games, guess how many they won? Of those 11.
3, 4.
2.
Yo, let's
They
go.
won 2 of them. They went 2-9 in games decided by 7 or less points.
Damn.
If they even won half of those games, they would have been contenders for the playoffs. Like they might have been able to get into the playoffs if they just won half of those close
Yeah.
games. So with Phillip Rivers mutually agreeing to leave the Chargers, maybe the next quarterback they have, potentially Tom Brady, can lead that immensely talented team to the playoffs where they belong, given how much talent they have.
Such a talented team. You hit all the bases, man. 12-4 last season, 5-11 this season. Poor Phil. Poor Phil. The dude's getting old. And I think that holdout with Melvin Gordon
You got it.
threw off the vibe, and it kind of threw off the rhythm a little bit. And look, you talk about the talent. Austin Eckler played so well this season.
Yeah.
He had a fantastic season, but he'll take over once Melvin's on it. I think Melvin's on his way out. I mean, I think he's done.
Yeah.
But
What's the contract he signed?
what's that?
What contract did he sign? Was it a 1-year deal?
Who?
Melvin Gordon.
Gordon.
I think it was a 1 year.
I don't know.
I believe it was a
think
1 year. But personally, I think the worst decision that the Chargers ever made was leaving San Diego. Ever. Leaving San Diego was their biggest mistake. They had a solid fan base, and either in LA, sharing the field with the Rams, who have had such a strong tradition of the LA Rams since the 60s. That's unbeatable.
Yeah.
Every old guy's like, oh, the Rams, the LA Rams. You know what I mean? Like,
He's had a 4-year deal
4-year deal.
for the Chargers, so he's gonna be there for a while.
He's going to be there.
So, all right, so you have my second team. So I'm gonna describe to you a football team.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't want to say anything until I'm finished.
Okay.
This team went 12-4. They had statistically the hardest schedule in the NFL. They set records defensively in the first half of the season. They had the greatest quarterback ever leading their team. They had the best wide receiver on their team at one point. Do you think this team won the Super Bowl?
Nope.
Nope.
No. Would you believe me if I said this team lost in the wild card to a team that was one game over 500?
Sadly.
So, for the team that I'm describing to you, and every fan probably knows, the New England Patriots. They are my most disappointing team of 2019. I like to preface this by saying that this season by itself was disappointing. Not the expectations they had before the season, even though they were expected to win the Super Bowl. You can't tell me for 1 minute they didn't address the wide receiver situation. You can't tell me, like, oh, Bill didn't do anything to help Brady out. Going into week 3, on your roster, you had Julian Edelman, Josh Gordon, and Antonio Brown. They addressed the position.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, they also had Demaryius Thomas on the team. Whether he's washed or not, they still took chances. They lost week 17 to the Miami Dolphins,
Which totally
who was
changed
the
the
laughing stock of the NFL, and they lost at home.
They just,
Well,
just went in
and gave the Super Bowl
did not
champions
care.
a path to victory.
This team is widely regarded, the Dolphins, as the worst team in the NFL.
Although they rallied. That's a different
They
team
did,
than we
they
played
did,
in
I
week 2. A very different
I don't
team.
care how good the Titans played down the stretch. You don't lose to a 9-7 team at home when that is where the season is supposed to start in the playoffs. They had an all-time great defense and have nothing to show for it. It's absolutely disgraceful. I'm done.
Can't argue with that, my friend.
They were awful.
We'll be back. We'll be back. No doubt in my mind. We will.
I think we've just about, wrapped up.
I think we have.
Season recap.
That's a good place to end.
It's a good play. That's a fantastic play to end. I'm Neil.
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah! Let's go, boys. All right. Hype me up.
That was good.
Let's go. Nice.